Coach Newton, Carrollton. I mean, like, let's be honest, man. This is not just the first girls dual state champions. This is the first team girls state champions in the state of Georgia.
Right. Yeah, and that's crazy to even wrap my head around, man. That's nuts. I don't think it's still sunk in completely.
It's I mean, we've had individual, a traditional tournament, but the first one to actually be crowned as a team is this been this weekend. And what was the conversation with the girls going into the weekend?
Well, one, we felt like we were disrespected with the fifth seed. No offense to anybody or you guys, I kind of played some of y'all sick little segments, and it worked out in our favor. Not that the other teams weren't good, but we felt like what we've done the last years, we were just overlooked, and it worked out well. But it was, let's prove everybody wrong. One, two, this is just another tournament. This is what we try for. Three, have fun. Four, I love you no matter what. We got a little saying, everything we do with a purpose. Our purpose was to go give everything you got, win, lose, or draw. We leave with our heads up high. And, the kids, they bought in. You could tell that, I'll be honest, man, this wasn't our best wrestling. We did not wrestle well, but we fought and we had heart. And I think it's because that they love each other, and they wanted to prove that we weren't a fifth seed. And so even though we didn't wrestle great, we fought. So
right. Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Lucas and I talked about it on the 6 minutes. We had so little information from lots of the girls' teams, and right. We had seen Greenbrier, right, up in a couple different places, and we've seen Jordan, but we hadn't seen Chastity. We hadn't seen you guys a whole lot. And when you haven't seen a team, you're like, I don't know. I mean, I know a couple of the girls on your team, and I've seen them compete, but you had to put together 14 weights.
Right.
And 14 weights is hard to do and be competitive all the way through. And you guys, you did it.
Well, and that's something, the last 2 years, we've gone up to Clarksville, Tennessee, and they have it's a very competitive duels tournament. And the only duel we've lost in the last 2 years was to Rossview, the Tennessee state champs. They got us pretty good this year, which was our turning point for the season. Then last year they beat us by like 1 or 2 matches. And that's why we're like, man, I guess that don't mean anything. You know what I mean? But, again, like you said, man, a lot of girls teams aren't wrestling duels because there's just not a lot of duels out there for us. Right. But we've gone up there, and then the next day we wrestled a traditional tournament, lots of ranked girls in the country. And it's a good experience. So by us doing that, we were kind of ready for state duels. We knew what the environment was going to be like, and they've at least got to experience a dual tournament, right? It's different, right? A tri-match than a dual tournament, and I think that's one advantage we had, is we got to experience that, and it wasn't brand new to them, because you know how it is in duels. You might bump here, you might bump there.
Right.
And they've been through that, so it made a big role, and they've also been through that. Hey, you might lose this match, but you can't get pinned, and that's huge in duels. And they've got that. They learned that, and I think that played to our advantage. Is we started looking for duels 2 years ago, and we've been able to find a few good tournaments, and that was a key part of it.
So, Coach, I wasn't there. I kind of hated not being there, but Georgia was kind of spread all over the place, and I was invited to come to Florida for a particular, for one location. What was the environment? What was the electricity like for the girls?
Oh man, it was insane.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. I think as it grows, it's going to continue to get bigger. But and I got to give my boy Nick White, the boys head coach, a huge shout out. He brought we had 35 guys buy tickets. We had our own cheer section. Our parents were nuts. But Chestatee brought a freaking crowd too, man. That was a fun duel. Greenbrier's always got people. Woodward had a good bit of people there. It was a really good environment. I think it's only going to get bigger. Now, I feel like, we had it on Friday. And I heard a coach say, man, people were at work, but like, we knew 3 months ago it was going to start at 2. I like the fact that we had it to ourselves. I think they need to do that. They don't need to have the girls wrestling with the guys. But for me personally, that place was nuts, man. And what I really liked about it is like our crowd and Chestatee crowd, they were super loud and going at it. But literally after the duel, every Chestatee fan I saw, like, Coach, y'all did a great job, shook her hand, and that's what it's about, man. You act like an idiot and raise Cain for your teammates, but different, and
Yeah.
like everybody had, like, the parents had fun. You could tell they were like, this is awesome for my daughter. And like everybody there seemed to really have the energy and the vibe. And it was special for the kids, man. They deserved it. It was really cool.
That's so awesome.
I
I got like goosebumps, I think that's so awesome.
out there, man. Like, we were literally screaming at the top of our lungs, and they couldn't even hear us. And that's fun though as a coach. It's great. And
Yeah, so I'll tell you, like, I went to Tennessee state duels last year, and it had the girls as in their first. They were the first ever in the country to have a state duels
right,
state tournament, and I love to watch the guys wrestle. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think that it's some high level wrestling, and it's in Cleveland Bradley. We're going back and forth and everything else. But man, the girls were just so into their
that's
duel.
man. And here's the thing, man. Like, guys, when they lose, like, not all the time, but they'll go pout, get on their phones. The girls will cry, but they'll sit there and go nuts for their teammates. And I love that, man, because that's what makes it special to me is that they're hurting, but they can put that aside long enough to cheer on their teammates. And I did, guys, we got to have our minute, regardless
Right.
if it's going on. They'll walk off, come back, and there's not very many girls doing that, and I love that. Like, it's something bigger than yourself, and that's what the sport's about too. And the environment, the cheering, the hugs, the emotion, man, it's something special. And I'm very proud of the girls, and they handled it well. They really did. It was cool.
So I want to ask you just real quick. I don't want to break down every single duel, but you started with Woodward Academy, a good team.
They are.
Ended up winning by 30, but you had like winning 2, kind of losing 2, then winning a few. It was kind of an ebb and flow kind of duel.
It was. Well, Fritz is like the wrestling freaking engineer, man. And they've seen it, their head coach, and they've seen us a few times. And man, them girls were coached up, man. Like, they knew how to get in our girls' heads and get us frustrated and get us do something stupid. And that's just a compliment to his staff. They've coached them girls up. They've improved so much, and they're fighters. I'm telling you, like, people are going to have to look out for them in the next few years. But it was a fun duel. The score makes it look a little lopsided.
Right?
I was nervous for a little while. It was like you said, we'd win 2, they'd win 1, and there was a few matches where we were expecting to win, and they did. And 1 or 2 matches, swing match, you're going. We're looking at a different situation, but we were able to fight through it and figure it out. But they're legit, man. They are legit.
So in that Chestatee match, you got behind a little bit early, right?
We did. We got down 12, then would get 6, or then we'd get up 4, then they'd get up 2, and
Right.
that was a fun one. And I knew it was going to be close. I was not expecting it to be that close. And we had a kid we were expecting to win, get majored, but then we had a kid get a pin that we weren't expecting to win. And like, it was awesome, man. And those girls, they're well coached, and that was a fun duel. I probably took 10 years off my life, but it was back and forth. And we won some matches we weren't counting on. We lost some we weren't counting on, but just the grit, man, and the fighting of the girls, and not the never quit mentality. That's what got us to pull that one out. And,
All right.
I think, and I think they they knew we were good, but I didn't think they were expecting, our
As
girls to
good
fight.
as you were.
That's it. And we had to give up a forfeit at heavyweight. Our girls injured. We kept that secret, but we knew we were going down 6-0. Our girls like, so what now? What? And that's what's fun. And they had a chip on their shoulder and they wanted to prove it. And that was a fun duel.
Yeah, and they did. So we now transition to the finals. You're getting ready to walk in for the finals. Jordan has been kind of a known name in Georgia for the girls. What is that conversation with the girls? Is it the same conversation of we just need to do what we've done?
Well, I'll be honest. I predicted the finals all week with my girls. I told them we're going to either see Greenbrier or Jordan in the finals. Don't be surprised if it's Jordan. They're gritty. They're tough. They even the ones that are new to wrestling, they don't quit.
Right.
Right. We wrestled them in area, but we had home advantage and we won a few matches and got rolling. And it was kind of the opposite way. But my conversation was, hey, we knew this was coming. We know what they're going to do. Let's fight. But, and don't think just because we beat them in area means we're going to beat them tonight. They're going to come after us. And they did, man. And we got a little part of our lineup I call Murderer's Row that just where that was where we were ending the duel. And so at first, it was 30-12, I think was what the score got to their favor. But that's the first time I've ever been down that much. And I said, no, we're going to win. And I pulled the girls aside and I'm like, and we knew one of them was going to lose. And I told her, like, do everything you can not get pinned. And unfortunately, she didn't. But I told the other ones, like, this is what we've worked for. Y'all been doing this since June. You got to get a 6. Like, there's no option. And they took that challenge. They put the teams on their back. And that's when it's fun. When your kids, we got one girl's first year wrestler. She's like, I got you, coach. And she fought her tail off, pinned her kid in the third period with like 40 seconds left, and that's what's fun to see. And, they knew what they had to do. And, they got their teammate. We lost a few matches we weren't expecting to. That's like, well, I got you. Don't worry about it. And, we knew it was going to be close, a little too close for my liking, but,
well,
we knew.
Looking at the score, because I wasn't there, it looked like you got to the point where Bailey Moore and Maggie Dudley, kind of turned the corner for you. Then you lost one, and then Madison Cooley came out, and you guys shut the door on the last 4 matches and said, "We're taking it home."
My last 4 matches are 3 freshmen and a sophomore, all first year. Man, they're like, yeah, it was. And that's the ones I pulled aside. I pulled Bailey, Maggie, Amazing, Johanna Mejia, and Haley aside. I said, look, this is on y'all. Like, y'all say you want to work hard. You say you want to be champs. Now's your chance to prove it. Like, we're counting on y'all. So what? You're a freshman. You're a starter. Let's go. And, man, I tell you what, they don't believe in pressure, I guess, or they were scared of me or something. But it was fun to. And I'm proud of them. And, here's the thing. They know our coaches and their parents and the fans, we're going to love them regardless. Right. And, I tell them all the time, all I want's all you got. And we push them hard. But it's for moments like that. And I told them, if we lose, don't let it be because we beat ourselves. We let the moment get. If we lose because somebody's better than us, we can live with that all day, every day. Right. Because that's life. Right. But if we lose, we could have done something different. It's going to haunt you. And luckily we sucked it up. And I tell you what, man, I do not want to see Jordan again anytime soon. I told Coach Scott, like, Coach, I love you, man, but 2 times in 1 year is enough for me. Those girls, they were trained, they were coached up, and they fought. I'm proud of them.
So the match is over. You guys have won. There's a lot going on and everything else. You're finally able to have a conversation with your team that's just you and your team. What did you say?
Told them I loved them. I told them that's why we work the way we work. That's why we have our intensity camps in the summer. That's why we have 6 a.m. practices 2 days a week. And when family messes up or when family does something, the other part of the family picks them up. And as dysfunctional as we are, we're a family. And I couldn't be more proud of them and that I loved them and that they made history. And it wasn't me. It wasn't the coaches. It was them, their hard work and their love for each other. And, I I got
And
a
they
little.
did. They made history. I mean, that is a historical thing that forever and ever they will go down, those names, as the first ever girls
That's
team state champions.
right. And they started working towards this in June. Like it wasn't me. I don't like to harp. We're going to win state. We're going to do this. Like I said, I
Right.
won't say. But we was working this summer, and one of the girls, we did little mini interviews with them, and Bella Moore, I was recording her, and it was while they were doing medicine balls and hammers and the crazy stuff. But I asked her if she's having fun. She's like, no. She said, but it's because I'm getting better. And I started laughing. I said, good. And I said, so what's your goals? She said, I'm qualifying for state. I said, what's the team going to do? She said, we're going to state duels and we're going to crush everybody. That got me fired up right then. Then I put in the order. And when we ordered shirts for the girls, and on the front it just says state bound, on the back says crush everybody. And I told them that's what we did. And man, it just fired me up. It was awesome because she was thinking her goal was for her to qualify for state, right? It wasn't win state. She realistic goal. I said, what's your team goal? She goes, we're going to crush everybody. Like, that's what you want, right? Team before me. And that was pretty impressive. And that's how they are, man. They love each other and they fight for each other. It's pretty cool to see.
Well, Coach, I just want to tell you congratulations.
Thank you, man.
I wish I had been there. But I mean, I think it's fantastic that I knew you guys were super good and super talented, but I didn't know in
I know.
context.
Hey, I'm glad y'all didn't, man. I'm not gonna lie. That gave us an edge, and it put a bad taste in our girls' mouth, which is what we wanted, And now that it's over, we played the disrespect card, and look at that, well, but you got to get an edge wherever you can. But I kind of liked being the underdog, the fifth seed, and I was like, okay, like let's go, But it's GHSA, they might should have done a little more research. And I told them that in the seed meeting, and that's okay because like you said, there's not a lot of info out there yet because there's not a lot of duels, and we're a really good duel team. We only had one state placer returning last year,
Right.
and that's the big thing. And that's what I told our girls. Like we've checked box one. We've become a good duel team. Now you guys got to learn how to do what you just did for yourself in traditionals. But with them keeping team scoring traditionals this year, I'm hoping it helps. But but it's back to the drawing board. We got some things to fix. But I think this weekend has really motivated girls to get better at wrestling, and I think it's going to help draw crowds. I really do. I think we're going to get more girls out, and because it's cool to see, man, it really is. And wrestling moms, like, are crazy, but wrestling girl moms, they're a different level, and it's entertainment, it's fun, and I think it's going to blow up, man. I really do. I think it's going to keep growing. Georgia did it right by getting the duels, and it's going to be huge. It really is.
Coach, congratulations on a great run, and good luck in a few weeks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.